Hello and welcome to Business Live. In our lineup tonight, Ghana Revenue Authority GRA descends on automobile service centers for failure to register and issue VAT receipts. Also, we'll hear from a former president of the Ghana Association of Banks, Alhassan Andani, who is cautioning that any debt restructuring under the International Monetary Fund program must protect pension and household funds.
The advice would be based on certain realities that I may not be privy to, but I will protect households. I'll protect households who have put their savings into these instruments. I'll probably protect pensions. But yeah, there are some
And Cocoa, Coffee and Shea Nut Farmers Association calls for improved welfare of farmers as they appeal to the government to deal with fertilizer smugglers.
Also entreat government and Cocoa Board, Cocoa Board and the security agencies to deal with the reported smuggling of cocoa fertilizers to our neighboring countries.
And more coming up in the next 30 minutes with me, Beverly Broohm. Do stay. Hello and welcome. Let's begin with the financial sector. As a former president of the Ghana Association of Banks, Alhassan Andani has maintained that any debt restructuring under the International Monetary Fund program must protect pension and household funds. The advice is coming at a time when the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, has promised broad consultation should the government embark on any debt restructuring. Mr. Andani has been speaking on PM Express Business Edition.
The advice would be based on certain realities that I may not be privy to, but I will protect households. I'll protect households who have put their savings into these instruments. I'll probably protect pensions. But yeah, there are some institutional pools of money that went into the instruments for profitability. I would not probably hit the principle, but you know, profit expectations could be called into question. And it's no different from any time a particular sector of the economy gets an advantage and makes huge profits, the sovereign comes back and that's what they call windfall profits. So I can either tell you, no, this is windfall for you, so don't charge, or if it's a free market, I'll let you charge, make that money, but I'll come back as a sovereign and impose a windfall tax on the particular sector. So as I said, for me it would be asset preservation for households, because households are impacted by several other things. Inflation, exchange rate, everything is gone up, prices have gone up. So whatever people have already saved, let me not diminish that for households. But there will be sectors of the economy who have pooled resources and are taking advantage of a very high interest regime to make higher profits. If that is what we are looking at, that would be manageable. But don't diminish principle for, let's say, pensioners and households.
Away from that, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has advised both local and foreign investors of the securities market not to be deterred by the current economic situation, but rather remain focused on doing business with the capital market. According to the Deputy Director of SEC, Paul Abebio, although the current economic challenges could have effects on the fortunes of the market, investors should remain determined and resilient to do business on the capital market.
The last 20, 30 years in Ghana, the kind of investment environment we have now versus 30, 40 years ago. While we are in unprecedented times, the environment has developed quite significantly. We have a huge professional investment class in Ghana now. We have a range of investment products. We have a range of securities on the market as well. So in as much as there is turbulence, I would say that investors should take comfort in the stability of the market and the nature of the market responding to developments. If there's no response to developments, that is also problematic. But when there's a response to developments, it's instructive to say that the investors are also aware, analysts are following what is happening. And I think we will work through this current environment we face.
Many have still not registered their SIM cards, and we are waiting the next line of action by the Communications Ministry. Will it be wise to block all unregistered SIM cards? Well, earlier, my colleague Darryl Kwao engaged board member of the Africa Digital Economy Forum, Derek Lai.
It was expected because if you look at the numbers that we had to deal with at the last press conference held by the ministry, the data and the science tells you that it's not going to be possible to register 21 million SIM cards within 2 months when we have done paltry that number in about a year. So it's no surprises per se, because the process also technically didn't change significantly. It wasn't like there were any reports of any extraordinary increase in registration centers or even new other renewed ways in getting people to register. More importantly, even the app that came was just the app related to the Google Android Play Store. The iOS app never came as well. And so still customers had to go through the same process of getting themselves registered like the past, just having to explore the Play Store option. And then also NIA's challenges continues to remain. The logistical challenges, the distribution challenges, the administrative challenges, and then even the technical challenges tied to the whole process. Some of them continue to exist in areas where there are huge queues. So you're not surprised that there are still a huge number of queues that we're seeing at different service centers and different spots for registration. And from my estimation, I think that telcos still have about 40% to cover across different networks, across different telcos. They haven't achieved full registration beyond 60%.
Right. So what do you anticipate will be the next move by the Communications Ministry? I mean, there are some others that are suggesting, well, locate those who have not genuinely gotten their Ghana cards and spare them any penalties. What do you suggest?
That's the same recommendation that we've had as well on this side. We have consistently said that, look, the team or the team folks involved in this process need to be able to segregate the numbers properly so that we can safeguard customers that have made an attempt to begin the process of registration, which is at least making that journey to NIA's offices to acquire a Ghana card so they can get back into the queues to get themselves registered. If you go with the wholesale approach of basically just deactivating numbers that have not achieved full registration, and that's just it, without looking at the numbers, it would be unfortunate. I would not think it would be just and fair to a lot of the people who genuinely cannot achieve or cannot acquire their Ghana cards to complete the process. What customers should also be expecting is that, look, there was a directive that was issued at the start of September, which continues to remain in force. And my understanding of the way things work in the industry. And that basically says that at the end of today, the telcos have to deactivate and block fully numbers that have not completed full registration. And these numbers are going to be blocked indefinitely for about 2 months. Not have voice calls working. And when I say voice calls, it's not just not to calls, but they cannot also receive calls from external people. They cannot receive calls, outcoming calls. They're going to have their data services equally blocked, and they're not to be able to get internet on devices. They would only have access to what I believe is IVR services and then SMS service, so that they can go to within the 6 months, if they decide or are able to get or acquire everything required to get them registered, they can be able to go through the process because it will require the SIM card, the SMS and the IVR functions or functionalities to be able to get themselves to link and basically complete the process of registration within the 6 months window period from the 1st October block directive, as we know it.
Do you think it's something that the ministry can carry out, the National Communications Authority for that matter?
There are so many technical challenges associated with such an exercise.
Let's still stay on the SIM registration, as many telecommunication subscribers in the Ashanti region are waiting in queues at some centers of service providers to have their SIM cards registered. The subscribers say challenges in network accessibility are impeding their registration processes. Some are already opting to buy new SIM cards if they are unable to register today. Lab FM's Emmanuel Bright-Kweku has been interacting with some of them.
Today marks the deadline for the SIM card re-registration exercise across the nation, and here in the Ashanti region I am currently at the Susanso MTN branch, where, as you can see, there are lots of people who are hoping to have their SIM cards re-registered. We've been interacting with some of them, and here is what they've been telling us. I have a man with me here. He's going to share with us his ordeal. So, Daddy, tell me now about Hasi. Now, oh, by then, or Maka. The card I was using was for my mother, so I had to buy a new one. I've been here for almost an hour to register the new one.
At the same time, almost 1 hour. The father knows so many years, so we got to proud don't be in money. To be here, imagine by the set. They travel to 1 hour, no more a year, before that's program.
But so when to end the deadline, when to register, then I'll be.
And said, the other one is a magic man. But I no problem, said no clue. I bet my Ghana card.
I came here around 7 a.m. They took my Ghana card and I've since not returned it. I want to even go to work. I'll buy a new SIM card if I am unable to register.
I'm registered. I'm not going to make card naturally. I have before 5:30 because of Minya Kwaya Kojimate. I try service up to now service.
I came here before 5:30 a.m. I've been here since morning, but they say the service has jammed. I'll buy a new card if I am unable to register.
Also network
I have already registered, but they told me the card wasn't linked to my SIM card. That is why I am here.
But the Ghana card and business certificate. Still, already obviously I didn't have the reason why
So most of these telecommunication subscribers are hoping that the network will be restored so they have their SIM cards registered before today ends. From here at Susanso, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority has descended on vehicle servicing stations in parts of Accra for flouting the value-added tax laws. The enforcement action is part of moves by the authority to clamp down on entities evading taxes, leading to loss of revenue. Here's a report.
The latest GRA action was focused on auto servicing shops in the Adentan municipality. The shops include LGD Auto Services, Unimec, and Auto Clinic. Here is leader of the compliance and enforcement team at the GRA, Nathaniel Tete.
3 mechanic shops or auto shops, we realized that they've all registered for VAT, except 1. 2 have registered for VAT, and they are issuing. We saw them issuing. We saw VAT receipts has been issued, but they have their own receipt books or invoices that they also issue aside the VAT invoice, and that is where the illegality comes. Once you are registered with GRA to charge VAT, you are given the commissioner's invoice. That is the VAT receipt book. It's called the commissioner's invoice. You are to issue only that VAT invoice.
Meanwhile, at the Auto Clinic Center, Managing Director challenged the officers, saying he made efforts to register for VAT, but GRA officials were frustrating the process.
We had a sister company that that is bread boutique, that filed its taxes at the Legon office. So when we started this place, we contacted the Legon office for registration. Whilst in the process, we were contacted by the Medina office that no, Medina has jurisdiction over this place. After some time, we also have an invitation from Adenta office. So I said, oh, you know what, guys, sort it out among yourself. Whoever wants win the case with you, we could register with them. Because we went there in the first place. In the meantime, we will continue to pay our staff payee at Legon, because actually that one is in the process. That is where we are. We don't issue VAT certificate, we don't have.
Leader of the team, Nathaniel Tete, explains that he has no excuse despite the challenge.
For registration, I can confirm he's registered with GRA. But when you are registered and you are offering service does not require any limitations. When you are offering service, you pay VAT on the service charges that you render. So once he's registered, the offering service, he should have been registered. Maybe I can't explain from here why he's not registered. You go to the office. It depends on information you give that will warrant the officer to know whether you are to charge the VAT immediately or not. So for now, I can't say anything because he went to the office and whatever he's saying may be true or may not be true. But once it is a civic responsibility and a duty that once you are offering a service, you should charge the VAT and pay same to the Ghana Revenue Authority and to government. So ignorance of the law shouldn't be an excuse here. If somebody confuses you and listen, he should have gone back.
The operation continues until taxpayers become fully compliant.
You're still watching Business Live here on the Joy News channel. Still to come, Cocoa, Coffee and Shea Nut Farmers Association calls for improved welfare of farmers as they appeal to government to deal with fertilizer smugglers.
We also entreat government and Cocoa Board, and the security agencies to deal with the reported smuggling of cocoa fertilizers.
Hello and welcome. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Ghana Cocoa, Coffee and Shea Nut Farmers Association is urging the government and the Ghana Cocoa Board to embark on drastic measures to deal with smugglers of cocoa fertilizers to neighboring countries. This comes after wild claims of some cocoa farmers threatened to give their farmlands to illegal miners due to the unfair conditions. Speaking at a press briefing, spokesperson for the association, Imoro Isifu Al-Hassan, called on the government to devise different means of improving the welfare of farmers.
The association said it will come out with an expected percentage increment after engaging stakeholders. They further debunk claims that its members are giving farmlands to illegal miners to operate. Isifu Al-Hassan, spokesperson for the association, bemoaned the rate at which fluctuations in prices of cocoa on the world market is negatively affecting the cocoa business.
Galamsey operators are presently destroying our farms, our cocoa farms, and threatening our livelihoods. In an attempt to suggest that we are rather encouraging this illegality that has the potential to completely destroy our farming business cannot be countenanced. We also look forward to the expansion of the cocoa farm irrigation project, which is currently being piloted on some farms. The cost of rehabilitating diseased and unproductive cocoa farms, among others, comes as a huge cost to the industry. But we believe that in determining the price of cocoa for this year, the PPRC will be mindful of the inflationary rates in the country, the cost of inputs and services, as well as exchange rates. We also entreat government and Cocoa Board, and the security agencies to deal with the reported smuggling of cocoa fertilizers to our neighboring countries.
The Fed said in determining the price of cocoa this year, the Producer Price Review Committee should factor the inflationary rates in the country.
Industry, two major issues appear to have gained the most attention. The issue of the producer price of cocoa and the threat that illegal mining poses to the cocoa industry. Naturally, there is a lot of anticipation among cocoa farmers at this time each year. Some have expressed concerns about the need for an upward adjustment of the farm gate price and warned of repercussions for failing to increase the price. Tensions have also been heightened following pronouncements by some individuals and groups claiming to speak on behalf of all cocoa farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, we very much appreciate the concerns of all cocoa farmers and members of the public advocating for the improvement in the welfare of cocoa farmers. We are, however, worried about the conduct of some persons making wild claims and rampantly issuing threats on behalf of farmers they supposedly represent.
The Cocoa, Coffee and Shea Nut Farmers Association expressed the concerns about the need for an upward adjustment of the farm gate price and warned of repercussions if the price remains the same.
Now let's go to the Ashanti region, where exhibitors who have displayed their products and services at the 2022 Love FM, DBS, Republic Bank Habitat Fair say they are recording good patronage on the first day of the fair. The 3-day event is on the theme Home Ownership, Where You Live Matters. Love FM's Mona Lisa Frimpong joins us with more. Hello, Mona Lisa. Can you hear me? Hello, Lisa.
Clear.
Update us on what...
Yes, hello, Beverly. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay, sure. The day is almost over, and I must say, for every stand that I have visited, they say they are recording high patronage. I wanted to speak to a few participants, but, well, when they see me, they just try escaping. Anyway, but I'm at the stand of Homeland, where they sell kitchenwares, cookwares, chairs, and I've spotted tables as well. So, sir, let me know your name. And I know you sell all these items. I hope they're very affordable too.
So we are Homeland. We are actually, you can say, like the biggest bulk suppliers and also retail in kitchenware, glassware, ceramicware, tables and chairs. When I'm saying bulk, is like we sell thousands and thousands and millions of items. We are the main suppliers for Horgana, like for example marketplaces and such as like other stuff.
Sure, thank you. So I know a lot of people have visited this stand. How has sales been so far?
It's actually good. A lot of people are liking the collection and the varieties that we have because they realize that they are way different than the items they are actually seeing in the market. And especially, I got a lot of compliments now from the customers who are coming visiting the stand that our quality seems extremely high with a very affordable price.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So the day is almost over. I'm just hoping that I get a few participants to speak to. Well, let me move over to some of them. Hello, madam. Good evening. Can I speak to you? We are live on TV.
No,
I know
please.
you just came
No,
in.
please.
Let me speak to you, please. Okay, no problem. I've spotted this nice gentleman. Sir, please, can you speak to me? I know you just came in. Have you been to any of the stands yet?
Not yet. I'm just passing through. I'm just looking around just to find out what I can see.
Sure. Thank you. All the best. So, Beverly, well, that is the situation here. A lot of people have been here, and I have been able to get myself some home appliances, which I'm going to use. And so, that is all for today. We are hoping that you record much more patronage in the second day and the third day as well. Over to you, Beverly.
Thank you so much, Mona Lisa. Now, that was Mona Lisa coming to us live from the Kumasi City Mall, where the 2022 Love FM Habitat Fair is ongoing. And that's how we end the show for tonight. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Beverly Broohm, and I leave you with news making headlines on the international front.